Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of MMJHL Game Day, live here on gshow.ca. I'm your play-by-play commentator and host for this pregame show, Graham, the G-Show Forsyth, for tonight's matchup between the Pembina Valley Twisters, the road team, and the St. Vital Junior Victorias. Before we get into everything that's, I guess, so strange about this matchup coming up, knowing that there's already been 20 minutes of it played, we're going to throw to a word from our sponsors. Well, a shout out to our sponsors in Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all of your industrial needs. Be sure to check out their website at midcanadafasteners.shop and their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today. We're also brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. To find out why they're so trusted, be sure to check out their website at terrico.ca for more information. And we're also brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Be sure to get in contact with the man himself, Gordy Tummelson, at gordytumelsongoalies.ca, as he offers a personal video review service for goaltenders. Thank you to his brand Goaltenders, as well as Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools in Terrico, for supporting MMJHL hockey here on gshow.ca, as well as supporting G-Show Productions in general. But as for tonight's matchup, of course, as you saw, the puck drops at 8:30 on this one, on period 2 and 3 from a rescheduled game from December. Now, the Pembina Valley Twisters are up 3-0 in this one, heading into the second period. The Vics will be on the power play, though. However, I believe, as Derek Weeb had taken a high sticking penalty in the final minute of that first period. But as you can see here by the scoring, Max Collette scored his fourth of the season at the time, assisted by Xander Carrolls and Cal Van Dynes, 4:13 into the matchup. And then shortly after, Merrick DeGrave scoring his 15th at the time, assisted by Riley Gertzen at 4:58. DeGrave would add his 16th of the season, assisted by Weeb at the 14:06 mark. This is the second last matchup also between these two teams in the regular season, and it's been in favor of Pembina Valley for the most part, outside of that January 28th game. That third matchup of the season was actually that 3-0 game where Pembina Valley is, of course, leading. That will be seen here on the network. If Pembina Valley is able to hold on to this one, they will take the season series this year, no matter what happens. Upcoming this Saturday at 7 p.m. in Morris. If St. Vital wins, they'll have a chance to win the season series, as they'll even it up at 2 apiece tonight with a victory if they're able to come back, and that all-deciding season series matchup will, of course, be still going on Saturday. But, yeah, you know, in terms of the MMJHL standings, taking a look at where these two teams sit in the standings, Pembina Valley has already locked up second place. St. Vital, if they're able to come away with a win tonight somehow, if they're able to come back, they would jump over St. Boniface in the standings and would have the same amount of games played as them at that point. You know, looking at it, everything is so tight in these standings right now that, hey, if the teams behind the St. Vital Junior Victorias get hot to end off the season in these last 3 games or so and St. Vital falters, we could be seeing them not in the top 4. But they're in the top 4 for now. They have a heck of an opportunity in front of them in terms of controlling their own destiny to potentially move higher up in the standings. Of course, St. James will clinch first place for a 3rd consecutive season. Pembina Valley already has 2nd place locked up. And to see how we got here, how the standings look this way now, as mentioned, I mean, St. Vital last week on Friday night beating St. Boniface 4-3 in a shootout, but they would end up losing 4-2 to Stonewall on Sunday. For the Pembina Valley Twisters, of course, they'll be playing tomorrow. Their action from this past week, of course, losing to St. Boniface 2 Sundays ago now, but then responding nicely with a 4-2 win over the Stonewall Jets, who are playing with a lot of urgency right now, trying to get into that last playoff spot. Pembina Valley, though, coming off a loss, heading into this one. 4-2, a tough one to the top team in the league, St. James, on Sunday. And yeah, both teams are almost set to get out here. We see the Twisters coming up the tunnel now here at the Centennial Arena. The keys to the game now, we'll have those brought to you by McCann Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Of course, visit their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today. I'd say for Pembina Valley, I mean, continue to play the way he played in that game and really look to, you know, wreak havoc on the St. Vital Junior Victoria's defensemen, especially in the middle there, in their own end. St. Vital has had some problems with the puck at times in their own end and have had trouble against good forechecks. Pembina Valley has one of the best in the league, and we saw how they were creating off of those turnovers and the counterattack last time out these two teams played. For St. Vital, they got to get the first goal in this game, and I'd say pretty early on to swing momentum in their direction the right way, shore up things defensively. You cannot get out to a start like you did last time, and, you know, just focus on what you can control in this game, right? You only have one period down. You're already down 3-0, but this is a new game. Treat it like so. Come out with one heck of an effort tonight. I'd say the players to watch in tonight's matchup, well, we'll go with the leading point getters for both teams. Tyler Rubini, look for his fingerprints to be all over this game tonight for St. Vital, and for Pembina Valley, well, we're going to go with Merrick DeGrave. 2 goals in the last time these two teams played. He's Pembina Valley's leading point getter as well, having an unreal season for the second-place team in the league. That is going to conclude this pregame show on G-Show Productions. On gshow.ca, Pembina Valley enters onto the ice now. Enjoy the game, everybody. We'll run our intro one more time, and we'll be back here as we see both teams entering onto the ice now for national anthems and the start of period 2 in this game tonight between the Twisters and the Victorias, the Junior Victorias, that is, from the St. Vital Centennial Arena. Just kidding, everybody. No national anthem since we are already into the second period of this game, and we are off. Pembina Valley up 2-0. Puck in their zone here to start things off on a Derek Weeb penalty. At the point, Rubini passes back to Kiesman, tries faking, but has that taken away at the line, poked away by Xander Carrolls. Rylan Netchwaduk picks up this loose puck in the neutral ice and puts it onto the stick of Rubini, where his shot turned aside by Logan ends. Back up top to Kiesman, to Netchwaduk. His shot through rebound there, but can't get onto a teammate's stick. Kiesman fails to hold it in the line with 20 seconds remaining here. Good pressure from St. Vital to start off. Coming out of this game flying right now. Rubini couldn't get that pass over, though, into the middle. As he goes off the board, 7 seconds left into the Pembina Valley Twisters zone, where Enns will play it behind his back, but turned over side of the net there in front. Rubini can't get it past Enns. And I don't even think Enns knows where it is. It's right there. I believe drops out of his pad, and we'll get a stoppage in play here. And we're going to throw only one sponsor on for this period, 2 for the next. This period, we won't go by McCann Fasteners and Tools, since that was for shown in the pregame mostly. Go for Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agriculture industry. Sponsor for period 2. Be sure to check out their website at terrico.ca to find out why they're so trusted. Pembina Valley looking to break out, and it's up into the neutral ice for DeGrave. He busts into the zone, protects before going up top for Russell. That gets deflected by a Vicks player. Out of danger, and they look to skate it up now. It's Nolan Anderson trying to dangle pass, can't, loose puck picked up, ends with a huge save, rebound there, trying to get in front was Nolan Anderson, and he's back on it now. Tries sending it down low, picked off. Vicks back up at the point, shot wide of the net, off the backboards though, and into Pembina Valley's possession. So I'd say St. Vital has gotten exactly the start that they're looking for in terms of the pressure in this one. Just need to find a way to capitalize. And of course, Pembina Valley, you know, if they get opportunistic on their chances, the way this game's going, and finish on them, that pressure will be all for naught for the Vicks. But for now, Mason Tebec playing in this game. Got the stoppage and the face-off inside the zone. Matt Grusiak on the bench tonight, of course, unable to be playing in this game since he was a Twister at the time and wasn't on St. Vital's roster. So Mason Tebec, of course, having the start. This puck deep in the Vic zone, opposite corner from our broadcast angle. Turned over now, taking it to the middle. The Twisters, loose puck picked up at the slot. Now, backdoor there, tapping almost to back. Keeps it out somehow up to the point again. Shot there, blocked, and the Vics surviving for now, as they get it off the boards and not quite out of the zone, however. That shot just wide of the net as Tebec has no stick. The Twisters now supplying the pressure, but it'll be turned over the other way. Netchwaduke has Rupini with them. Over to him. Shot. Oh, what a save by Enns to come across. Beautiful look there. Here's Rupini again to Netchwaduke. That shot turned aside by Logan Enns. Second in the MMJHL and wins heading into this matchup, as this gets sent all the way down finally. And what an opportunity there for the dynamic duo of Rubini and Netchwaduke. That pass was right there, right in Rubini's wheelhouse. Would have probably liked to pick a better spot though, as it's pretty darn good, but Enns had it covered up nicely to make it across there. Face off to his blocker hand side, won by Kaiser. Netchwaduke, or Jaquette from the point, sorry, has a shot on Enns, which will be turned aside, as Jaquette will remain out there along with Reese White. Xander Carroll's on the draw, loses this one, but picked up by Pembina Valley right away. Number 23 and Max Collette, who scored the opening goal back in December when these two teams had first originally played these games. The puck tried to make a play on that. Collette again through a screen and off a post. At that time for number 23. As it's played towards the net. Collette right there in the wheelhouse, but will be disrupted. Vicks pick it up and turn it up the other way onto the stick of Nolan Anderson. Has Kaiser break into the net. Feeds the pass through. Kaiser with a chance. Rebound there and somehow keeps it out. Puck's up in the air into the opposite corner. Jaquette sends this down low to Nolan Anderson through, and that wide of the net, as White sends it down low. Past Kaiser though, as he got checked into the opposite corner. Kaiser along with Nolan Anderson battling, trying to get that loose puck. But Pembina Valley unable to get it out. Holding the point there was Malmus. Nolan Anderson now trying to shoot through a screen. This time as comes out of his own net and rims a bit too high up off the glass and into the netting here. Now let me tell you, I mean, player to watch coming into this one, I had chosen Logan Enns' teammate and Merrick DeGrave, leading point getter for Pembina Valley, but so far it's been Logan Enns that's been the player to watch for Pembina Valley, making some key stops here on some really tough chances. Off of the boards and off of the back of the net. Wirch gets there first. Off of the paddle now of Enns as that goes off the roof. We'll get another face-off to his blocker hand side. Wirch on the forecheck. DeGray picks that loose puck up from Kyle Van Dynes. Pembina Valley now looking to go to work. It's Gertson now breaking into the zone for number 14 and Derek Weeb, sorry. As Pembina Valley at the point looking to shoot. That's through, blocker away by Quebec, though, and the Vics look to take it the other way. That pass can't get past Weeb, but finally into the Pembina Valley zone as ends out to play. Plays it in the direction of Van Dynes, ends up all the way up to Weeb, who tries playing it off the boards up to a teammate in Gertson, but couldn't get there. Pembina Valley, though, with it in the Vic zone, as the Victoria is in possession of it. Now that one disrupted on the initial pass. Rubini tried picking it up in the neutral zone, but too far for him. Derek Weeb with it now just over the red line, decides to send it in where Mason Quebec will be out of his crease to play it off of the backhand up that right side. Gets sent in deep again as it was turned over. Jaquette first one on it as he recovers. Can't handle that loose puck, though, up the boards as this gets rimmed all the way around again. Number 8 in Imbrogno for the Victorias. Lost that puck up the boards as the Vics now getting hemmed in their own end now as Pembina Valley goes to work on the cycle. Trying to get to loose puck there. It was Imbrogno, gets it up to Rubini, and he's going in. Burst of speed. Shot! Trying to get through a toe drag there to get it past number 24 in Jacob Carrolls, but could not as this gets rimmed all the way down into the Vic zone as we'll get an icing inside of the Vic's net. Or Vic's end, sorry. Past the Vic's net, that puck went. And Jacob Carroll's team captain for this year's Pembina Valley Twisters team will still stay out there, of course. Draw will be won by Pembina Valley onto the stick of Jacob Carrolls as he mohawks before flipping this out into the middle. Neutral ice as Reese White sends a pass to Kaiser. Backhanded to Nolan Anderson, but not the cleanest. That takes a funny bounce off of the back glass. The Vics now in possession of it. Just past the red line, dumping it in was Dayton Kiesman. Turned over now, side of the net. Oh, behind the net that was. Trying to go to the side of the net was Kaiser to Nichapork, but couldn't. High slot now. Nolan Anderson just misses the net. Might have hit a stick on the way through. Vics still keep it in, though. Trying to dangle at the line was Kiesman. This puck ends up getting sent down low where Jacob Carroll's first one to recover. Try getting that to Orchard, but turned over. Tipped through a double deflection, but couldn't get on net. Kaiser tries going to the slot, but couldn't find a man there. Orchard now wearing number 10. It's the puck battling along his side of the red line with Kiesman. It's Nolan Anderson now. He gets this back to Reese White as the Vics go D-to-D. It's over to Kiesman. So he has some trouble with it now as the Pembina Valley Twisters forecheck. The Vics finally able to get it out. Sent up into the neutral zone for Nichapork, but couldn't make it there on time. Nolan Anderson didn't see he was still offside. Carries this in as we'll get a stoppage and play on that offside call. Faceoff will be just outside of the Victoria's offensive zone for them, just outside of the Pembina Valley zone. Is this second period brought to you by Terrico. Serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. Is this gets up to Xander Carrolls looking to protect on the backhand before delaying up. Goes across to Russell Callan, or Callan Russell, sorry. Couldn't get there. Low shot from the point from Russell. That one into the slot. Loose puck. Now picked up by Xander Carrolls in along the boards closest to our broadcast angle. This gets to the opposite boards furthest from us now in the Vic zone as a loose stick. That puck gets by to number 3 in Hepner, who played it off the boards and played it down low. Played up to the point to Van Dynes. His shot through, deflected maybe on there. Good save by Mason Quebec. A Twister gets rubbed out. They get possession of the puck again. Somehow able to get this puck back to number 2 in Xander Carrolls as this puck leaves the ice. Sorry, rather that was Max Collette who lost possession of that puck most recently for Pembina Valley. And the faceoff will be just outside of the Twister zone again. 11:18 remaining in this second period of action. Twisters leading by a score of 3-0. Weeb pickpockets, goes in, his shot, rebound created, but turned away by the Victorias. Good initial stop there by Mason Quebec. This is played up the right side to Ruben. He tries playing that across, but couldn't thread it through the skates of a Twisters player. Merrick DeGrave giving chase on Jaquette, backhands this quickly. The opposite side to reverse it. Reese White now loses the puck in his own, and that gets loose. Weave in front. Oh, nice save off of that backhand chance by Quebec. So onto the stick of Tyler Rubini now. Toe drag and dangling through Rubini. Oh, what a move! And draws a penalty on the process. In the process, a hook. And wow, I mean, we talk about the speed from Rubini. He also has that through the stick handling. Toe drags on that initial move. A slick slide of the puck under the stick of that last Pembina Valley Twisters defender to initially get by him. Doesn't get a clean dangle on net, though, however, as he gets hooked, drawing the penalty and sending the Vics on their second power play of this period so far. Their first full one with time if they're able to work it that way. Played down low to Kaiser, up top to Kiesman, across to that right point to Rubini, to that left side to Nechwaduk, threads it to Rubini, now up top to Kiesman. His shot through, and it's through goal! And the Vics able to win the draw, cycle this puck around, control it on the outside before getting that shot through up top from the point from Dayton Kiesman through a bit of traffic as Logan Enns couldn't handle it cleanly with the blocker. And right there to bury it in, creating confusion in front, some traffic, was Jack Kaiser, as he gets awarded with the goal. Tyler Rubini and Kiesman getting the assists. So with 9:46 remaining now in this second period, the Vics only trail by 2, cutting into that Pembina Valley lead that they had built up in the first period of this game back in December. This Nolan Anderson now wheeling through the middle, gets poked there, clutch by Xander Carrolls. Can't poke the goal scorer, though, and Kaiser, protecting this puck, decides to turn to the backhand. Gets it up to the point. Jaquette couldn't get a shot through the sticks. Net is off its bearings, though, as we'll get a stop and play due to that with 19:19 remaining in the second period. Of course, brought to you by Terraco, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years. Check out their website at terraco.ca for more information on their products. Nechwaduk tried to slide by off of that draw. That shot now deflected off of a Twister. Now to play, meaning we'll get a face-off in the exact same spot. It's number 25 in Slade Southern taking the draw against number 11, Rylan Nechwaduk. As another whistle from a linesman. As Nechwaduk won that draw, he'll try it again. As this time it's the Twisters winning that. Into the corner to Kyle Van Dynes. Kicks it up to Alex Van Dynes, who couldn't take it much further in the neutral zone. Sent into the Vics end now where it's played onto the stick. Hopped over for a sec, but now he has it. Clean possession as Halati as he goes for a skate through the middle of the neutral zone. Halati loses possession of the pocket, though, upon entering, and it's now onto the stick of Alex Van Dynes. He sends this down low with a backhand. Turned over at the point. Kyle Van Dynes has blast turned aside, and now onto the stick of Rubini as the Vics turn it over. Rubini through the skates, protecting to the backhand, tries getting out in front. There's Imbrogno and Nechwaduk were there, but couldn't complete it. Vics try getting on that again, but couldn't find it there, as Derek Weeb will send it up the left side. Pass out of the reach of Alex Van Dynes as Kiesman decides to go out for a skate again up that left side. Delayed offside into the Twister zone with 8:14 remaining. It was number 16, Jack Kaiser. Wonder if it gets to a point where, it gets to overtime again, if he gets all the ice time as well. Just thought that it might not happen, but I mean, Jack Kaiser's been phenomenal. Clutch all season long here, at least from what we've seen on MMJHL Game Day, as that puck gets tipped wide of the net by number 17 in Cody Clark. Sent down into the Twister zone now, where Enns leaves it for Wood, who tries completing a stretch pass up. Wood gets knocked onto the ice there by a heavy hit, I believe, from Jeremy Wirch, who now has a glove taken away. It goes flying into the big zone. So we continue play. Kind of weird how that one flew off of his hand, too. This gets sent all the way down into the Twisters, and no icing on the play as Nichapouric beats Russell to it. Nichapouric taking a hit to stay pinned on this puck. Finally loose. Gets played up to Max Collette. He can't maintain it, though. Deflected on net by Kaiser. And Enns up to the task to make that save as Kaiser receives a pass just before the blue line. Trying to dangle through one hand to nutmeg past the defender, but couldn't. Reese Malmus at the point has his shot blocked now as Max Collette falls to the ice. Gets a pass to Xander Carrolls, and now this is kicked to the right to number 18. Drops it back over Xander Carrolls. That was Golford. Played back down low to Golford. Gets it to Xander Carrolls, who gets it to the point. That shot through from Carrolls, who has it deflected and wide of the net. Puck along the boards now down low. Twisters looking for options. They play it up top to Jacob Carrolls. Finds an outlet man to the opposite point. Van Dyne's shot turned aside. Squared up to it. Well, there was Mason Tebec. With 16-12 remaining in the second period of action. It was Kaiser who cut the lead down to 2 on a Vic's power play moments ago. The Vic's deficit, that is. Twisters lead here, 3-1, leading by a score of 2. That shot got through, but wide of the net. Kyle Van Dyne's now jumping up a bit from his point position to get that further down low. It's onto the stick now of Rubini, who backhands it to Imbrogno. Try getting that to Nechwaduke in the neutral zone, but couldn't. Twisters back into the Vic zone. It's down low. Onto the stick of Gertson. Gets that to Carrolls. Through, deflected wide of the net, though. But Pembina Valley will be first on it. Cutting it off there is Rubini, trying to play it off the boards, but can't. Merrick DeGrave quick behind the back pass. Couldn't find a teammate there. Now it's into the possession of Rubini. Entering into the zone. Has teammates with him. Left to shoot, and that deflects just wide of the net. Nechwaduke, though, gets it up to the point. Reese White, D to D, to Alati. Through, turned aside by Enns there. Picked up by Imbrogno. Out of the net, up to Halati. Up to the point to Reese White, who elects to play that down low into the direction of Imbrogno, but Twister is able to get out of the pressure. Nice passing by Weeb and Merrick DeGrave to break out here. So gets sent opposite side onto the stick of Merrick DeGrave now as he tries getting this all the way across to Gertson. It gets played back down low to DeGrave, but cut off there by Victoria. Held in, though, deflected by Reese White, wide of the net. DeGrave on it again. Tries toe dragging through, does protects well, gets it up to the point. Shot turned aside. Nice save there. Good focus by Tebec on Hepner as the Vics able to poke this through now. Nechwaduke to Rubini. Shot, and that's just wide from Blake Lee. As Enns almost beat there off of the Victoria's chance. Nechwaduke and Lee back down on the forward check. Trying to hold it in at the point were the Victorias. And did just that. Lee going to work against Wood. Tight turns away from him. Trying to pin it along the boards now, but taken away by a Pembina Valley Twister who gets rubbed out a bit by Victoria. And now back onto the stick of Blake Lee, who tries getting that across. Can't. Now gets bodied by Wood, who plays it all the way out of the zone. With 3:50 remaining, Pembina Valley starting to get their chances, but I mean, did we expect anything less from the top guys of the Victorias and Ruby and Nechwaduke creating a lot of quick counterattacks the other way. But right now, Ends and Pembina Valley surviving most of it as another offensive face-off, or defensive face-off zone draw for them is won by the Twisters. Played up to the wall by an outlet man. I believe it was Van Dynes. That one gets past Collette, just passes blue line and onto the stick of Kiesman. As he looks to go for a skate up, does, able to evade that hard hit of Xander Carrolls along the boards. Got nothing but air on that hit. Carter Lee now out with Jack Kaiser. Kaiser gets it down low. Carter Lee and Wirch giving chase. That puck just getting past Carter Lee. Now into the crease of Mason to back in the Vic zone. So he'll get a stop and play. The face-off, that'll be to the glove hand side of Quebec. On to take it, Merrick DeGrave ends up just winning it. Jacob Carrolls from the point, turned aside by the pad there of Mason to back. Now up the boards to Nichaporic. Gets this into the neutral zone, on to the stick, turned over to Mike Hepner. As that pass just missing Weeb's stick in the neutral zone. Now back onto the stick of Hepner as he gets this up the wall to Weeb. Weeb turns it over though, but back into the skates of Hepner, who plays it back to his D partner and captain in Jacob Carroll. Sends it into the neutral zone. Covered up well by the Vics though to disrupt it. Derek Weeb now picking up the puck, trying to dangle through in the Vics zone, but couldn't. It'll be turned over and onto the stick of Nichaporic now, who sends this in deep, where Jacob Carrolls will be first one on it. Got it out of danger to Derek Weeb, who drops it for Hepner. The Weeb continuing further up into the neutral zone. Won't get a pass though. It'll be to DeGrave. Now to Gertson. His shot just wide of the net. But DeGrave will be first one on it. The opposite side of where it was shot from in the Victoria zone, as two Twisters now going to battle in the corner. Down low. Twister now with the puck. Can't get past Reese Malmus. Goes back into the neutral zone. As both teams play a bit of catch. Zimbrogno got this to Reese Malmus, who looks like he'll try to go for a skate, but backhands it to Zimbrogno. Tries getting that across in the neutral zone on that right side to Rubini, but failed to get him there. That pass into the skates now of number 9 in Bergman. Puck still into the neutral zone, back into the Victoria zone now with a minute 24 remaining as Malmus reverses. Puck sent opposite side again, up to the point. That one turned aside into the back plexiglass, as now Twisters with a chance. That shot turned aside by Mason to back with a minute 07 remaining in the second period of action. So the Twisters and Victorias both getting fresh legs on the ice. Straw will be won now by Pembina Valley. Up to the point. Hepner, his shot through. Rebound turned away. Controlled nicely there by Mason to Beck, as the Victoria is able to get it out. It's Blake Lee. It's a man with him. He shoots, scores! And Blake Lee, he's had himself a really strong period, doing everything well and showcasing his speed this time around. That puck able to be chipped out, sending Lee on a 2-on-1 opportunity. He looks off his passing option before sniping it through Logan Ends. And off of that icing, with 45.8 seconds remaining now in this second period. That's a huge goal for the Victorias, as they entered into this period down 3. Only down by 1 at this point, thanks to that snipe by Lee. Too strong, too quick for Logan Ends to handle. as Pembina Valley looks to regain the 2-goal lead here late in the period, but Vicks potentially having other plans. Kaiser tried chipping that up to himself. Carterly getting the assist on the play there. Say good effort. Here's a chance to Grave now scores. Well, what did I say would hurt the Victorias? Would be sloppy play in their own end, not too clean with getting that puck out of danger. And I mean, hey, you leave a guy like Merrick DeGrave open with that kind of real estate, he's going to take it all day long. He scores a hat trick with that goal, as he had 2 in the first period of this game, to give the Twisters a huge goal to regain the 2-goal lead heading into intermission here, it looks like, as 10 seconds left on the clock, flipped into the neutral zone. Delayed offside. 2 seconds left now on the clock, and with that, as we go into the third and final period of regulation here coming up, it's Pembina Valley up by 2. They were up by 3 heading into the period, and I'd say the Victorias honestly did win that period overall. They had some really good chances early on, especially some one-time opportunities that were turned away there by Logan Enns. And, I mean, decent job of them of defending, well, I guess, Pembina Valley, that is, against Rubini, not quite letting him make that last move to finish it off cleanly. The zone, it did result in a penalty, but even though the Vics do have a power play goal, Pembina Valley pretty solid on the penalty kill this season. Pembina Valley, as the period did go along, they got more and more offensive zone opportunities, but most of it was in the favor of St. Vital, and Blake Lee with a huge goal to cut the lead down to only 1. But the Victorias, a problem for them all season long, honestly, has been the sloppiness in their own end, and they couldn't get a clean puck out cleanly in their own end there near the end of the period when they need to be their cleanest to especially come out only trailing 1 goal to Pembina Valley. Instead, heading into the third period, it'll be Pembina Valley up 2 as Merrick DeGrave able to find a loose puck in the feet, I believe, of a Vicks defender to snipe it past Mason Tebeck to regain the 2-goal lead here. So, yeah, the Vicks with phenomenal pushback. I mean, the period they played is almost exactly what we had predicted here on the network that they needed to play to get back into this game. And, oh, are they very well in it. But trailing by 2 here against the second-place team in the league in Pembina Valley. The Twisters looking to officially win the season series to go up 3-1 in it to hold on to the lead. St. Vital looking to even up the season series and come back into this game. Coming up next, how does it all end? Well, stay tuned, everybody. We're going to throw it to our sponsor screen. We'll be back in about 5 or 7 minutes. Stick with us. And also, thank you to Terrico for serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry, for sponsoring the second period of MMJHL Game Day action. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, into the St. Vital Centennial Arena for the upcoming third period of action between the Pembina Valley Twisters and the St. Vital Junior Victorias, as St. Vital pulled within one in the final minute of that period, but Merrick DeGrave would complete his hat trick in this matchup to put Pembina Valley up 4-2, regaining the 2-goal lead in that period. Jack Kaiser and Blake Lee were the goal scorers for St. Vital. Kaiser scored on the power play to open the scoring on St. Vital's side of things and open the scoring for that second period in tonight's matchup. And yeah, as we take a look at the season series, this was, of course, before the game. The Vics had won the last matchup out on January 28th. If Twisters are able to hold on to this matchup, they will win the season series. But if not, the determining game for the season series will be, well, no matter what, this Saturday. And, I mean, for both of these teams, they will be most likely in the playoffs, unless there's some unforeseen collapse with St. Vital. I really don't think so. I think this team's on their way to clinching a playoff spot, no matter if they get the victory here tonight or not, with 4 games left in the season, 3 games after tonight. Pembina Valley, of course, not as much to play for, I guess, at this point in the season, outside of, building good habits and making sure they're on the top of their game heading into the playoffs. Great season for them, really strong in their last 10 games, and the Vics, one of the best teams in the last 10 games as well, too, with the 5-3-2 record there. And just to let you all in on, I guess, the point leaders in the league here heading into tonight, we're watching one of them, a player who's tied top 5 in points in Tyler Rubini. And then, taking a look at the goaltenders. Logan Enns looking for win number 20 tonight. This would tie Noah Gilbert for the league lead in that category. Enns made some fantastic saves throughout that second period that could truly end up being the difference in this game. The early chances specifically that the Vics had in the first 10 minutes of that period. But yeah, one last thing to look at would be the scores. I guess, Pembina Valley coming off of a loss, coming into this matchup, and for St. Vital, of course, they were coming off of a loss as well against Stonewall. So both teams looking to get back into the win column tonight with 20 seconds remaining of regulation. And in this period coming up, that will be brought to you by Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Be sure to visit their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today, or visit their website at midcanadafasteners.shop. And to Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Thank you to them for supporting Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League hockey here on the network, and everything we do here at gshow Productions on gshow.ca. It will be even strength here to start off, of course, unlike last period where Derek Weeb was serving a continuing high-sticking penalty. Vics got off to a good start in terms of producing chances on that last period. Can they do the same here, or will Pembina Valley shut things down? All those questions will be answered and more in these next 20 minutes as this gets sent into the Twister zone here early on, where Kyle Van Dynes will have it, skating up that left side before sending a cross-ice pass up into the neutral zone for Gertson. Blocks that clear attempt by number 7 in Dayton Kiesman. Has him pinned up along the boards. Southern there as well, but Imbrogno getting in his way, doing a good job as the Vics able to get this puck all the way back into the neutral zone, eventually into Pembina Valley's. Gertson turns it over in the neutral zone. Kiesman losing a bit of his balance, struggling, but able to survive up that left wall. Works it up to Rubini, dangling through, trying to at least, but good body play there by Kyle Van Dynes to disrupt that attack. That puck loose in the slot, and Imbrogno with a heck of a chance. But couldn't beat ends as this puck goes out of play. Getting our first stoppage of the period, and with that we bring on the first of our two sponsors that are sponsoring this third period, and goaltenders. Your Goalie's personal video review service. Be sure to check out their website for more information at GordyTumelsonGoalies.ca. Draw one by Pembina Valley. Played to an outlet man, that left winger for Pembina Valley in their own end, before it gets flipped into the Victoria zone, where Halati will be on it. Halati looking to skate up, gets taken down, but no call on the play on number 9 in Brett Bergman. This Jaquette will go for a skate now. Trying to get past Orchard, sends a pass to Nichaporik just before the blue line. Couldn't complete it, were the Victorias. They send this all the way down and go off for a change as Pembina Valley now looking to break up the other way. Clark got almost a deflection on it. Not quite, though, as this gets called for an icing on Pembina Valley, sending it all the way down into their zone for a Vic's offensive zone faceoff. Or no, sorry, this will be to center ice here. Fooling myself and the cameraman as puck dropped and won by the Twisters as they look to control this off the draw. Sent to Derek Weeb. Gets by Weeb. Now his shot scores! Well, Derek Weeb, known for his playmaking ability this season, I'd say one of the most electrifying puck handlers we've seen here at Points on G-Show Productions. And just, he doesn't do it often, but when he wants to, he sees an opportunity to. He'll throw on the dangles. He did there to trade an opportunity for himself to get past the Vic's defenseman and to snipe that cleanly past Mason Quebec to allow the Twisters to regain a 3-goal lead in this period, just like how they entered into tonight. How do the Vics respond now? That goes off of a leg of Malmus. Almost danger for the Vics there as they can't get this out. Hemmed in, deflected on net, rebound cleared away for the moment in the slot by the Victorias. Wirch taking some rough stuff off the boards, but the Vics able to get out. It's the Lees in now. Carter Lee couldn't get a shot through. Ends up dropping that to Blakely. Most recent goal scorer for the Vics. One-timer there for Ruben. He set up in the slot, but couldn't get that shot cleanly through as Merrick DeGrave passes that across, starting a breakout for the Twisters, but all the way down for an icing with 17:04 remaining. Imbrogno will be on the draw for St. Vital and ends up winning it. Twister's able to get it out, though, as Halati now controlling in his own end. Goes EDD with Jaquette before, quickly swinging this cross ice into the neutral zone for Rubini. That pass up to Nechwaduk near the line couldn't hit. Defended well by the Twisters as Max Collette gets this to Xander Carrolls in neutral ice before Carrolls sends this down to back out to play it to Halati. Turned over to Collette, trying to dangle through. Picked up by Xander Carrolls now and scores. And the forecheck from Pembina Valley. The turnovers they're creating for the Vics, the havoc they're creating in the Vics end of things have been evident here in this period. More so than any other time in the game. And, Victoria's with opportunities to potentially get the puck out at times. Couldn't on Pembina Valley. And, they got such good support on the puck. Able to work this to the middle within the Victoria's defenders' feet. They couldn't handle it cleanly. And Max Collette dangles, makes a power move to the slot. The net gets sent off its bearings, but Xander Carroll's right there. Good puck support to pick up a loose puck and, send it through a bit of a screen of Victoria's players to snipe it past Mason to back. To now extend the lead to 4 here for the Pembina Valley Twisters. Zach Kaiser gets thrown out of the face-off circle here. It'll be Nichaporik to take it. Kaiser coming in to help out off of the tie-up. Gets this up to the point to Kiesman, but turned aside there by Logan Enns. We'll get another face-off inside of the Victoria zone. Kaiser will take it now, but gets tied up. Good stick there off the draw by DeGrave as Kiesman kept it in initially, but turned over to DeGrave. Onto the stick up to Gertson. Finds a middle seam pass there to Weeb, looking for his second. Turned over now. It's DeGrave on the forecheck. Pickpocketed a Vic's defenseman. Down low to Weeb. Works it up. Todd. That shot through. Rebound there to Weeb. Picks it up. Loose puck there in the slot. Now shot and turned aside, but Weeb forced him turnover again. Tries getting that back door with a backhand pass to DeGrave, but couldn't find it. Turned up the other way now by the Victoria's. Kiesman looking to go inside, outside on the move. Got held up on the move back outside. As the puck sent back into the corner. Down low. Nolan Anderson gets this up top. Shot. Gonna be blocked off of Halati's stick. Sent all the way down for an icing. And yeah, Vic's able to, survive there in their zone for the time being. The Twisters with such an active and fast cycle game as we saw there. When the loose pucks are there, you can see their eyes light up. Not literally, but figuratively. But Dane Kiesman, good on him to rush that puck up. Nice little inside-outside move attempt. Was able to get it down low, and the Vics were able to go to work. End up working it to the point and get a shot through to the net. Ended up forcing an ice, and it's right there. Back right in front of the net for a tap-in, but turned aside by Enns. This puck finally out of the zone. And now here comes Orchard. Tries dangling past Malmus, but challenges well. This puck rimmed along the boards. Blake Lee was there with it first. It's now onto the stick of Carter Lee, who flips this up into the zone, but couldn't get it past the skates there. Bergman sent deep into the Victoria zone now, where Mason Tebeck will be there to leave it for Halati. Off of the backboards across to Reese Malmus, who decides to flip it into the neutral zone, into the direction of Rubini, who's able to pick this puck up and dangle it down low. Gets it to the front of the net for Nechwaduk, but that chance didn't result in anything. Nechwaduk up to the point. D to D, it goes to Reese White and through a bunch of traffic. And turned aside by Enns. He's been really good tonight. 2 goals let in, but one of them was a shot he had to try to see through traffic, and the other, maybe one he would have liked to have back, but such a hard and fast release by Blake Lee. I'm telling you, I think that in this game, a real turning point were those saves that Logan Enns makes in that first half of that second period, because we could be very well looking at a game right now if he didn't rob Rubini on a one-time chance or a few other Victorias. The Vics could have 4 goals right now, and this could be a 2-goal game. It's not at this point. Turned over by the Vics again off of the post from number 23, and Max Collette this time looking for number 2 in this game in terms of a goal. Collette gets this up to the point, just out of the reach of Rubini to defend that. Twisters working it down low now. Quick on this cycle again. To the net, deflected there. But high of the net and doesn't result in anything. Vicks can't get it out again. Reese White's pass misplayed as St. Vital tries rimming this out. Finally chipped out by Nechwaduk. But Up to the line again, just inside of the Vic zone now. Sculford had his shot deflected and disrupted. Up left side to Kiesman, receiving a pass from Rubini. Has Rubini with him still as Kiesman takes a spill into the boards, loses his balance. Rubini dangles pass down low to protect, gets this up top to Kaiser, whose shot will be blocked and turned away, but turned over by Kaiser again, picking up a puck in the neutral zone. Onto the stick of Jacob Carrolls, plays a stretch pass up off the boards to Derek Weeb, who sends a backhand pass into the corner for a Twisters player in number 21, Alex Van Dynes, but turned over the other way to Kiesman. Nice backhand pass to Anderson, scores! You know, one thing that the Victorias had last season, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but really good puck-moving defenseman, smooth skater, who could dish the puck. And that's what Dane Kiesman is really turned into, that defenseman that can be relied to do those things for the Victorias, to be trusted with rushing the puck up. Now, not saying he's the only one who can do it on this team, but he's done it so consistently, and they're just a great display of using his speed, skating straight up to get into the zone, drawing play to him, the pressure to him before kicking the puck out with a nice little saucer backhand to Nolan Anderson, and Anderson had some good speed built up. Takes the puck to the net and a nice silky backhand finish through the 5-hole of ends to make this a 3-goal lead again only for Pembina Valley with 11:31 remaining. We'll see what the Vics can do from here to continue to chip away at this lead, or if they can at least. Halati plays this to Carter Lee, gets that shot on net. Rebound swallowed up well by Pembina Valley. Puck almost past Halati, that red line, but did a good job to stay his ground, to stand it. So the puck finally gets sent deep into the Vic zone again as Jaquette. Speak of the devil, he's on it. Just mention him. Halati almost fanned on that initial pass out, but able to get it up as the Lees work it in now. In deep on net as Blakely was crashing there. Sent on net there from Carter Lee. Pembina Valley survived that, sent it all the way down for an icing. And we'll get another face-off inside of the Twister zone here coming up. In this third period of action, also brought to you by Make-Canada Fasteners and Tools. Visit Make-Canada Fasteners and Tools store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today. Netchwaduke, nifty play off the draw. Nutmeg, the Twisters defender with, or the centerman with success for just sending that shot wide. It's sent in deep into the Victoria zone, where Netchwaduke couldn't quite get it out along the boards there. Number 23 in Max Collette gets a short pass to Golford. Golford trying to dangle to the front of the net. It's on the back of the net now. Now loose onto the stick of Dayton Kiesman, who just able to chip this puck up to Rubini, who gets this up to Netchwaduke now. Trying to dangle to the middle was Netchwaduke. Lost the puck for a moment. Now up to the point. One-timer Kiesman. Oh, turned aside by Logan Enns. With 10:10 remaining now in this third period of action. So Victoria is getting a change, sending, which I'd say their second line is sending that out with Kaiser, Nichaporik, and Nolan Anderson. No Davis Koga in this matchup, by the way, tonight, as could not dress in this matchup since he wasn't on the roster for this game for the Vics, was still a Raider at the time. As this in front tight, Weeb with a shot scores. And this is just Pembina Valley winning off the cycle, winning the puck battles, and just showing that will, right? It looks like Weeb doesn't have the puck cleanly initially, gets it to place, fights to get that type of shot, waits out to back after getting that puck in the slot, and waits out to back just enough to snipe his second of the period as the Victorias look to respond. Once again, it's Nolan Anderson now. Feeds Nichaporik up that middle seam, but it got sticked away by the Twisters as Kyle Van Dynes flips it into the neutral zone now. Onto the stick of Reese White. D-to-D, him and Jaquette go as this puck played into the middle for Nolan Anderson as he gains the zone. Sends this across to Blake Lee. Sends it into the middle, but that one can't find one of his Victoria's teammates. As behind the net now, Pembina Valley surveying options into the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass, hops over the stick of Brady Jaquette. Reese White back there to recover and pick up that loose puck. Turns before going D-to-D below his own goal line to Jaquette. Fed that in the skates of Wirch, but able to get out where the Vicks is. Blake Lee tries dangling pass. He does! Oh, Lee almost able to get that up over the shoulder of Enns, but he was in good position to take that away. Here we go. The Twisters shot low and deflected out of play off of the paddle of Mason Tebec. So we'll get a face-off inside of the Victoria zone. Nice job by number 17, Cody Clark, there to get a quick shot on net upon gaining the zone. It's the draw, 1 to the point to Mike Hepner. Gets this half wall to Max Collette. Sends this down low to Xander Carrolls, who tried getting a quick pass through but couldn't. But Carrolls back up to the point now. Hepner, his shot, couldn't get through those traffic of sticks. This one sent out with one hand by Carter Lee as he was given chase, but couldn't quite catch up to it. Sent back into the Vic zone onto the stick of Dane Kiesman now, who backhands this off the backboards and gets it right back. Couldn't handle the pass back cleanly initially, but as this one gets sent into the neutral zone, the Victorias will have to regroup again in their own end now as Kiesman circles back and finds Brady Jaquette, who looks to skate it going up the other way. Jaquette trying to cut to the middle, has it stripped in the Twisters zone before Pembina Valley, just before the Vic's blue line, sends it in deep. This is work down low now to Golford. Trying to get it back to Golford was Xander Carrolls in there to help now as Carrolls gets bodied along the boards there by Jaquette. Two of those players in Jaquette and Imbrogno both proceeded to fall down afterwards. It's now up to Ruben as he sends a puck on net. Rebound able to be turned aside there by the Twisters, and Brogno had a shot at it too. D-to-D the Vicks go, still establishing pressure in the Twister zone. Halati's shot couldn't get through there as it was blocked, and Pembina Valley skates it up the other way. Dangling past is Kyle Van Dynes, looking to protect the puck, gets rubbed out by Victoria, proceeds to rub out Imbrogno and gets a loose puck to a teammate. Backdoor opportunity there, but covered up well by the Vicks, by their own net. It was number 21, Alex Van Dynes, trying to find number 9 in Brett Bergman. Victorias go off for a change now. Get fresh legs on. This one deflected past the red line by the Twisters into the Vic zone. Rimmed around the boards there and past the stick of Kiesman as Pembina Valley still maintains. Nice job, though, by the Vicks to come together and cut away the angle there by their own blue line and get the puck out into the Twister zone. 6 minutes remaining now in this game. Under that now, 7-3 the Twisters lead on their way to winning the season series. This will mark the Twisters' 27th win of the season, too, if they are able to hold on. And, of course, the Victorias will remain 1 point behind the Riels in the standings for that third place spot, which they were tied with the Riels heading into last weekend for. Bergman able to muscle his way through as a man at front of the net, but nice job by Malmus to dive and block that potential pass through. Carrolls and Bergman working along the corner, but have this puck taken away by a swarm of Victorias. But the Vics couldn't cradle this puck cleanly. It's loose in the Twisters zone now, but Pembina Valley able to survive and get it into the Vic zone again. As Brady Jaquette waits before skating up the left side and sending a pass up to Nolan Anderson. Gets up to Blake Lee, has it stripped away though. Reese White just outside of the blue line sends this down into the Twisters zone. Goes off for a change as well. Pembina Valley waiting patiently behind their net. It's Captain Jacob Carrolls, flips a backhand pass to that left side to Merrick DeGrave, who's burning in with speed. DeGrave now in front, no one there off of that pass to the slot. DeGrave able to win the puck off the forecheck, though. High slot chance. Gertson, his shot through some obstacles. Wasn't exactly clean on net. I think that's why it ended up just going wide there off of the backboards as Quebec covers up. But yeah, as we show the standings here, or those are the stats. Yeah, Pembina Valley, of course, they'll jump to 27 wins with the win, and the Vics, of course, will remain at 47 points most likely in this one. They take a puck away in their own end and try to create offense the other way. Rubini trying to dangle through, protecting up that left side, but couldn't upon entry into the Twisters zone. It's Max Collette who just flips out, gets by a bunch of Victorias, and onto the stick of Xander Carrolls, who elects to send this in deep. Off the backboards to Golford, whose shot towards the net gets blocked. Sent up to Tyler Rubini, trying to dangle through, but Kyle Van Dynes, man, he's been doing excellent work all night matched up against Rubini. He's tried dangling past 26, but has failed to complete that final move every single time with that good solid technique that Van Dynes has shown. Good gap control and good use of the stick too to be very disruptive on Rubini. And also tough too because, I mean, Rubini, he comes down with such speed, so you got to match that somehow. And they've neutralized him off of the rush for the most part in this game. A player who you could argue this season, the best at creating off the rush, one of the best this season. Is Pembina Valley looking to do the same here. Backhand almost gets through. Mason to back, nice job by the other Van Dynes. Alex to get into the zone now and create that opportunity just at the blue line now. Netchwood trying to dangle past and couldn't complete that last move for the Victorias as this puck gets all the way back down into St. Vital zone. The 2:34 remaining. Both of these teams, of course, meeting on Saturday night in Morris, sorry. As Logan Enns makes another big save there with the glove. So the Vics get another offensive zone face-off opportunity. The straw will be one now by number 16 and Kaiser. Puck sent in front, but couldn't find anyone there for the Victorias. Pembina Valley has this turned over. It's Nolan Anderson now. Oh, tries getting the pass over to Kaiser. Looked like maybe he was going to shoot that one, but couldn't get it over to number 16. That intended pass. Anderson tried getting it down low there, but a few Twisters making it hard for him to do so, covering up that side of the ice. Jacob Carrolls decides to just send this all the way out. So he gets it back on a stick now and goes D to D. Sent up into the neutral zone for Merrick DeGrave. Goes cross ice for Weeb. Tries dangling past us. Somehow gets through. Weeb tries going cross ice. Oh, that would have been a highlight reel goal. Here's a one-timer now. Oh, to back with a beautiful save. Somehow keeping that out from Gertson. Just able to slide across. And one of the bright spots that the Vics can take out of tonight for sure. And honestly, a lot of bright spots for this team. I mean, you looked like the better team in the second period. I think a huge thing was when, Merrick DeGrave scored that goal too with under 25 seconds left. Kind of squashed the momentum that the Vics were building in a positive direction, of course. The Twisters come out as the faster team in this period, the cleaner team with the puck possession and their puck decisions. And, I mean, just a tough one for the Victorias tonight. I mean, you come into this one down 3-0 already against the second best team in the MMJHL. And, I mean, had that momentum building, but Pembina Valley, such a good team, and taking it away, and Ohalati with a beautiful dangle. A beautiful move there, doing it all himself to put the Vics on the board, potentially getting the last laugh in terms of the last goal in this game. And with 45 seconds left, Vics now trail by 3, but not sure if it will be enough unless Seth Halati has something to say about it. Trying to dangle through again, couldn't quite make it through this time. Gets played to the slot, deflected or redirected in below the goal line by Wirch there before Pembina Valley got possession of it again and break up the other way. It's Xander Carroll's taking it to the middle, gets hooked, no penalty on the call here, allows for the Victorious to get into the neutral zone, past the red line, send this in deep where Logan ends, send this around the boards, and in the dying 10 seconds of this game, the final 5 seconds now, Pembina Valley takes a 3-1 lead in the season series. They will win the 2023-2024 season series between the St. Vital Junior Victorias and themselves. The Vics, of course, with a lot of good things done right in this game. Tonight is just, coming into this one down 3-0 already to a good Pembina Valley Twisters team who will make you pay if you're not careful in your own end, when we definitely saw more mistakes happen for the Vics. In the third period in their own end, I think there were 2 big differences in this game for Pembina Valley in getting the win, and that was Merrick DeGrave's goal to make it 4-2 in the second period near the end of it, and I mean just the huge saves that Logan Enns was making in this contest too early on in that second period to, have the Victorias a bit snake bitten on their opportunities. The Vics were still producing good chances in the third for the most part, but more of the play was played in their own end, and that wasn't as much of the case in the second period. So great response from Pembina Valley, did what they needed to do tonight to hold on to the win. Yes, they did give up 4 goals. Some, I'm sure, Logan Enns would have liked to have back, but overall, I mean, number 30 was solid in tonight's matchup. The big guns stepped up for Pembina Valley in terms of DeGrabe, Weeb, Merrick DeGrave, that is not DeGrabe, DeGrave, but yeah, Derek Weeb. And then, I mean, looking at a player like Kyle Van Dynes too, right, that was so instrumental in shutting down the top guys for St. Vital tonight, and Tyler Rubini most notably off of the rush chances. So we're going to throw it to player of the game here, and we're going to go for, we'll give it to Terrico for player of the game for both of these teams here. We'll start off with the losing team, I guess, in the St. Vital Junior Victorias. I'm going to give this one to Blake Lee. Lee ended up having a goal in that second period for the Vics, was producing more offense in that third period. And him and Carter Lee tonight were doing some really good things with the puck, getting it out and creating rush chances going down the other way. That resulted in some good shots for this Victorias team. So, Blake Lee gets the player of the game tonight for the Victorias, number 18. And for the Pembina Valley Twisters, I'm going to give it to Kyle Van Dynes, number 26. I don't know if he had any points tonight, but he did have points in this game overall, and just the best defender, hands down on the ice tonight. Didn't make many or if any mistakes with the puck. Produced some offensive chances as well, and was instrumental in shutting down the top guys from the Victorias and making them less dangerous off the rush, where top guys like Tyler Rubini thrive off of that aspect of the game. So those are your players of the game, brought to you by Terrico. serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. Be sure to check out their website, gshow.ca, for more details, more information. But as for this season's series, last game of it goes on Saturday night at 7 p.m. in Morris. St. Vital will be back here on Sunday afternoon to take on the defending champion, the first place, St. James Junior Canucks, for one final time. Thank you to Terrico as well as Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools and Goaltenders for sponsoring this edition of MMJHL Game Day again. I've been your play-by-play commentator, Graham the G-Show Forsyth. Thank you to MMJHL legend, my Uncle Mark Boulanger, for pulling clutch and doing camera work in tonight's game. The Twisters. It looks scary at moments for them, but Merrick DeGrave, Kyle Van Dynes, Logan Ann's performance, and a whole lot more for Pembina Valley being the difference tonight. Good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.